Hey guys, today I want to jump in and talk about this awesome little EDC fixed blade by Big Idea Design Company. It's called the Lookout. You might have seen it before, and I'll show you why it might look familiar. But the Lookout is named after probably the most recognizable mountain in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where these are made, Lookout Mountain. So it's called the Lookout. It is a small EDC fixed blade made in the USA, made in Chattanooga, a collaboration between their head CNC shop manager, Matt Kelsey, ABS Journeyman Smith, I think is the other guy who worked on it. I could be wrong there. That's just the way I read it. This one is in MagnaCut. There is an option to get this knife in Nitro V if you prefer that. But this one's in MagnaCut. You have several different handle options. This one is natural micarta. You can also pick out, if you're looking at these, G10 scales, Tigerwood scales, Ultim scales, and then the micarta scales. You have titanium hardware that hold them on, so they are bolt-on screws. And you've got this hollow bolt or through bolt here at the back in case you want to also make that a lanyard hole. But the comfort of this knife is really spectacular. It's one of the catalysts, besides the knife that I designed at 6 inches, that prompted a video that went out yesterday, that I think I found my perfect size for an EDC fixed blade. And it's right around 6 inches. I still have 5-inch knives that I love. I've got 7-inch knives that I love. But if I'm trying to find that perfect little sweet spot for me, 6 inches is it. And this is right around 6 inches. This is therapeutically slicey for a small EDC fixed blade. Very thin blade stock. I have cut a lot of cardboard with this. We'll cut some more here in just a second. Cutter air. Got a very nice sharpening choil that I'm catching because it's not a finger choil. Very, very slicey. And it's a great little tool to use on cardboard. I found it very slicey on cardboard. The blade geometry coupled with, I think, the edge and the MagnaCut, which, by the way, is, I think the MagnaCut 6364. The Nitro V is 6162. But it just rips through cardboard. Just a little material destroyer. I've whittled on my whittling stick. I would bring it over here, but I'll just end up cutting on it. I will bring it over here. Just so y'all know that I cut more than paper, and cut more than paper. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's got a lot of different cuts. I've done a lot of different types of cuts with it. And again, for whittling, this knife whittles great. I don't want to get a ton of crap on my mat, but it does cut very, very well. And that blade does not roll. It's still just as sharp. We'll put it on some paper here. And put my whittling stick back in the corner. Come on in, little buddy. Sorry about that, guys. A little cat shuffle is taking place. But anyway, you've got a really nice factory edge, really nice sharpening choil where they've split this plunge grind just perfectly. So I think you've got a really nice plunge there, really nice sharpening choil. You've got the Big Idea Design Company logo right there on the blade. It is a stonewash blade. Apologize, y'all are getting a couple little free breaks at no additional charge for this little review, as I try to keep the little crazy cat at bay. I apologize, guys. I know that's not professional, not knifey, but I like the fact that they've added their logo. I like the fact that it's got the MagnaCut bold. Feels great. Full tang construction, done very, very well. Very light. We'll weigh it in a second. After cutting through all that, it's still just a laser beam. And the jimping for me is perfect because it kind of keeps my hand pushed away from the choil. I've got this finger grip here. I'll get you some measurements. And then I've got this thumb on the choil. Feels really good. A nice little clip point, drop point-ish blade. What I was going to show you before we do some size comparisons is before I had this knife, Big Idea Design Company sent me this knife. This is when they first designed the Lookout. It was designed by Mac, the CNC manager, Mac Kelsey. They made a couple in Chattanooga, and then they had these made somewhere else. These are an M390. These are titanium. These are still available, and they are about 35, 40 bones less than a USA made one. To me, I like the USA one, but they're very, very similar. So when you look at these two knives, there's a little bit of hand crafting difference. The jimping, to me, is a little sharper and feels a little crisper on the USA version. This one has titanium scales, so it's a heavier version. I like the stonewash or whatever this muted finish is better than the finish that's on the M390. And I think it's sharper. I think it just stays sharper. This little knife is a laser beam too. I've stropped it a couple of times to kind of bring it back. And another thing that's really cool is the way they do these sheaths. Hold on, guys, I apologize. That is not tippy. That is puck. But the way Big Idea, I'll get rid of the imported one. The way Big Idea does their sheaths is with the knife, you get a right-handed and a left-handed Kydex sheath. And then you get this little titanium clip that I think is a maybe a T10. Nope. T8. So you've got a T8 fastener here that you can take off, and you can switch it to the left-handed clip if you want to carry it in your left pocket. So they've set it up, to me, brilliantly. They put it in the center of the sheath, which gives you great push-off points. And it's a titanium Big Idea design clip, which is very, very strong. When you've got your pants on, it's easier to force it down over the hem. But once it goes over the hem, it is not coming out unless you force it out. That means you can pull the knife very easily, and it carries low. So the sheath starts about right there. Your knife's carrying low in the pocket. You've only got about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches sticking out. And it just works very well. Let me pull it out and I'll show you. You've got a really nice retention point there. You've got a little bit of flexibility on that titanium. And you've got some little eyelets if you wanted to do something different. But just a fantastic little knife. Do a couple of quick size comparisons. I think on the video you guys would have seen yesterday if you saw it. This one's pretty close to Sharpie size. And then if we look at it next to a Benchmade bug out, which is somewhere over here. Paramilitary 2. Alright. Well, I don't see my Benchmade bug out. That's pretty weird. Anyway, it's going to be bigger than the Benchmade Bug Out 2. Let me grab one. That just pisses me off. I've got another Bug Out right here. I know it's buried under some of this crap. But the Benchmade Bug Out, good bit larger than the little Lookout. If we look at it next to a couple of my favorite fixed blades, like the Bradford Guardian, which is a bigger knife, it's going to be a good bit bigger, both in girth and in length. You've got the little Boker Barlow BFF, which is a pretty close length and size representation with a little pocket dropper. This knife's pretty similar in size, made in Solingen in Germany out of AEBL. I don't think it's as quality of a knife by any stretch. And then on the budget side, you've got a little knife like this Tucson TS580. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the Tucson, but it is a great size. It is right at 6 inches. I mean, literally dead 6 inches, with a 2.5 inch blade, with right over 2 1/4 inch cutting area, and then your inside grip is going to take you to 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches from this choil to this little back area here. And again, it just feels good whether I'm thrusting with it, whether I'm slicing with it, however I'm using it. So let's get a couple of quick weights, and I think you'll see it's a really light knife, and we will be done, guys. And I apologize for all the chaos during this knife overview. 1.7 ounces. So guys, I don't go by the inch per ounce rule, but this little guy, 2.4 ounces packed out. So on my pocket, on my belt, it's going to be less than 3 ounces. It is extremely light, a little heavier if you choose some titanium scales, because these scales are interchangeable. You can purchase scales if you want to swap them out, but it's a great little knife. I can highly recommend it because Chattanooga, Tennessee is only about 45 miles away from me, and that rhymed. I'm going to try to plan a trip to go to Big Idea Design and do a little filming, whatever they'll let me film there. Not to get any, secret stuff, but just to kind of give you guys a tour of what they're doing there, because they do a lot more than just knives. They're kind of an EDC leader and innovator, and I really like the stuff that they do. Really nice guys. They've been very supportive, and I'd like to bring you guys more of their products. But this is a winner. Whether you look at the little bit less expensive imported one, or you look at this USA made, a 6-inch knife is a little small, but it's what I like on a small EDC fixed blade. Again, 6 inches is what I designed my knife, the fret, to be. I think it's the perfect size for me, and I know a lot of people with bigger hands who enjoy using it too. So, Big Idea Design Company, look out. Made right here in the USA in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm glad to have it. I appreciate them sharing it with me so I could share it with you guys. And all I ask, a couple things. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, give me a like or a dislike. It really helps with engagement. I want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to say thank you to anyone who comes in and watches my knife and EDC content. I appreciate you. Do me a favor. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Keep an eye out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.